Hey everyone, Rob here, and greetings from Wisconsin. Usually, global chat is nothing if not a steady reminder that some people suck at life. However, just the other day, someone on Global had a valid problem they were experiencing with clan wars. An Australian babe named Kat was talking about how her clan was doing well in wars for a while, but a couple of months ago they hit a losing skid and haven't been able to win since. Now, I don't have enough detail behind what was going on with her clan, so I decided to come up with a list of the top reasons clans in general lose in clan wars. Number one, they're disorganized. It doesn't take a whole lot of organization to keep a war clean, but it's amazing how many clans put zero effort into providing a little structure into their wars. So what ends up happening is you find yourself backed into a corner. For example, if a bunch of your mid players attack too low and pick up 3 stars, then the bottom players don't have any reasonable targets and their attacks are essentially useless. That leaves stars on the table, which causes you to lose the war. If, on the other hand, you assign targets by telling everyone to attack 1 down for your first attack, for example, so your number 1 will attack their number 2 player, your number 2 will attack their number 3, and so on. Just a little organization can go a long way. The second reason is they bring the wrong people. And I don't just mean Brazilians. I mean farmers. Whenever we go to war against somebody, I generally stalk the other clan's bases. If I see camps filled with barching troops, I'm generally happy because there aren't a lot of players who can spend all week barching and execute a great go wipe or Lavalunion in war. They farm all week and wonder why they suck. There is nothing worse than bringing a rusty P.E.K.K.A. to war. The third reason is nothing changes after a loss. Now, a lot of times there's a glaring problem with a war effort, but leadership either doesn't see it or they ignore it. Glaring problems would be things like people not using both attacks. If someone doesn't use both attacks, you have to ask why not. Another glaring problem would be if players have to dip low in order to pick up stars. For example, if your number 1 guy has to go halfway down the board to pick up stars, you should be asking why those already down there couldn't pick those stars up. There are others, but those are the top 3 that I've seen. Now, how do you fix it? Let me give you a couple of mantras that have helped me in leadership positions. Number 1, success undefined is success undeclared. It helps to think of leadership like a race. Could you imagine starting a 100-yard dash or a 5K and not know where the finish line is? You'd run and eventually you'd think, well, I don't know, that was far enough. That would be crazy. Without a defined finish line, you couldn't say, yes, I finished the race in this time and I came in 3rd or 10th place, or I didn't finish because I'm tubby and winded and collapsed after 30 feet. Now, the same thing applies to leadership. Whether you're running a clan, a company, or a family, how will you know what success means if you haven't spelled it out clearly? Now, if you struggle with that, that's okay. If you can't come up with a finish line, come up with a pace. Any runner who is a serious runner can tell you what pace they're looking to keep as they run, whether it's miles per hour, minutes per mile, or kilometer, or whatever. So if a finish line isn't practical for whatever reason, then define your pace and judge yourself based upon that. So some examples would be getting the number of stars for Clash of Clans, making sure your inbox is empty at the end of the day, or spending 15 minutes a day reading. And these are all examples of pace goals that you can run with. Next, what you permit, you promote. Now, my father picked this up somewhere along the lines and drilled it into us kids growing up. And because it's true, if people aren't attacking, or if they're bad-mouthing each other, or if someone's not carrying their weight, and that behavior isn't addressed, not only will it continue, but it'll become the norm. Looks like that's all I have time for. Coming up in the near future, I'm gonna lay out a project I'm working on that you can help with. Also, for my next video, I respond to a guy in Global that implied I should kill myself, so be sure to bring the children when you watch that one, because Uncle Robert here is going to teach them some new words as well as some new hand gestures. That's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. Now go spend time with your family.